How you guys doing? Welcome back to the House of Business Podcast 2.0. It's your host, Caleb Thompson, and this is the place where we give you the knowledge and the tools to execute your dreams and your visions. Hope everyone's having a great day out there today. Hope your day has been blessed. I hope everyone is, just, moving the needle forward in your personal life, in your family life, in your finances, in your business, man. I hope everything, aligns to where you're trying to go, man. So I just speak that over you today, that everything will work out, man. Some people may say, man, I don't believe that it won't work out, but I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of things work out by not working out. So don't be so quick to be doubtful. So, I appreciate everyone. I like to start all these messages off with gratitude. So I would like to thank everyone for liking, sharing, subscribing, from viewing these videos. Man, hopefully it's a blessing to you in some kind of way, man. If it's something that's, let me put it like this, beneath you or you don't like, don't listen to it, man. Send it to a colleague. I'm not doing these videos to be critiqued. I'm just, the knowledge that I've gained on my journey as an entrepreneur, I just want to share that with the world as far as my expertise or my experience. Some other people may have experienced a lot more, have done a lot more when it comes to mergers and acquisitions, have done a lot more when it comes to scaling the company. They have, went a lot more in depth when it comes to building a company culture and all of these other things. That's cool. Go and watch those videos. I don't mean to sound harsh, but if this is not for you, it's just not for you. So, find something that aligns, that can pour into you. Maybe this can pour into a person that wants to become an entrepreneur and they just want to get some insight. If you are already 300 million, 100 million, scaled a company, and you feel like, what is this guy talking about? He doesn't that. Okay, this is not for you. Go and find someone that you feel like that has enough knowledge to help you on your journey. Sorry about that. It's summertime. I don't know why I got flying here. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Today's episode is going to be why your business needs a clear identity. Why your business needs a clear identity. Man, I'm going to start off and say why you need a clear identity. You need a clear identity for the simple fact that you will not be able to lead anyone anywhere if you do not have a clear identity of who you are. Who you are, the company culture stems, or the foundation of a company culture is built from the mindset of the company owner. So if you don't know exactly who you are, you don't know exactly where you want to lead individuals, you don't know exactly what you will tolerate and will not tolerate inside of your own company to make sure it's a healthy environment for your employees and not a slave ship, as I should say, a place of oppression. You want people to come to work. You want to be glad to come to work. You don't want to start off with a welcome package, and we're glad to have you on board. Give them a welcome package with a lot of company merchandise, and once they get there, they just stepped into the most rewarding hellhole. Yeah, they may have the finances, and I'm not saying that the place shouldn't be have some type of pressure to push people to their full potential and to meet deadlines. But what I'm saying is, they don't want to give them you don't want to help them and hurt them at the same time. So, anyways, man, so this is why your business needs a clear identity. I'm gonna give you 3 talk points as I usually do. I usually do that just to stay on track, to make sure we are within the confines of our set time that we have. But talk point number 1, define exactly who your business is for before you try to grow it. Man, there's many a times when I first started my restaurant company, we did everything for everybody. And then still to this day, we do have a lot of departments where we still do concessions for sports arenas. We do offer a food service for schools in the New York area, according to the national lunch program. And then we also do catering, corporate catering, and things of that. But we specifically target those areas to a certain market. Which means that once we post or do marketing campaigns, we target that specific niche of people. We don't just put it out there and say, this is on, promote your business, page on Facebook. No, we find pages that are in alignment. We find certain platforms or certain business groups or certain certain things that are in alignment with what we want people to relate to. You know, we want to get some feedback from those particular people. We want to try to get those specific clients. And why I'm all over my words, but yeah, so we strategically target those specific groups and those specific people while marketing that department of our company. So, you know, but you have to know exactly who it's for. Yeah, we are food service, but at first I did everything for everybody, and I didn't have a marketing strategy. The marketing strategy that I had down on my business plan, it completely changed once we start to understand all these other avenues where we can generate capital. But I didn't know how to target that specific niche of people to get a response. So, you know, and now I do. So, but one thing I've learned is that if I don't define my business clearly, you don't even know what I stand for either. If I don't know what our business stands for, if I don't know the services and products that we offer and the ways that they can benefit the customer or the client, you don't know either. You just say, "Oh well, I seen, man, it was a guy that contacted me on my vending company the other day because I run so many companies, and because I did not have our pricing, our base price list at that current time right in front of me, and I had forgot the prices for the vending company to run certain routes. You know, I sent it over to him once we got off the phone, but to be able to be knowledgeable about those things when you are right there in the midst of a call where you can land that sale or get that contract, you need to be able to at least know the base knowledge of every company that you hold. If it's from prices, if it's a detailed description of the services and products you offer, and the base price list. Those are the number two things that you need for each company that you own. Even if you're the owner, I could have basically said, man, I'm going to send you over to my secretary. I'm going to send you over to a colleague, and they'll be able to explain things a little bit clearly. But unfortunately, I don't have a personal assistant at the moment. But with running so many companies, the main thing I always try to make sure that I'm up on is the inventory that we sell, and at least a ballpark number around the price of that particular specific product or service that we offer, so we can kind of give them an idea. And I say, man, we can go more into depth maybe on a longer call. If you can just call me back, or let's schedule something for tomorrow, and then I can educate myself with that call. But you need to at least know these things. But a strong identity starts with clarity on what you offer, who you serve, and what problem do you solve. And you need to know these things. You need to know exactly the pros, all the benefits, all the value that you bring to a customer or a client, and how this can benefit them in the best way. I mean, not just benefit them at that particular moment, which a lot of these situations with, if someone calls you and say, I need business coaching, it's because it's urgent. It's because they probably missed out on $1 million contracts. They probably missed out on great relationships. They probably missed out on even hiring great employees because of the lack of judgment. It's like, man, okay, man, I missed out on that person. But then, you know, you need to know, so you cannot scale confusion. You know, that's one thing I always say. You cannot scale confusion. You have to build clarity first. So a lot of times, we just had an episode with the Cooking Up Business podcast, and we were talking about, we're basically talking about the waiting season is preparation. So sometimes you may have to pull back from business. And in that time where you're not scaling, things are not moving forward, you need to educate yourself on every product, every piece of inventory, all the services, everything that you offer. You need to get down to the, I'm gonna say, everything that you could probably think of, man. I'm trying to, anything that you can think of, down to the small. Now you do need to know the base. People say you don't have to do all that, but the more you know, the more people would be convinced or be persuaded to buy from you, because they understand that you know exactly what you're talking about. So, but when your identity is clear, your direction becomes easy to follow. So talk point number 2 is use your identity to guide your business decisions, man. And I said this in another episode, man. There was a trend that came out. I don't know what kind of trend it was. It was something that didn't align with my company, but people were making a lot of money by hopping on this trend. You know what I mean? Making certain products tailored to this this trend, or tailored to this whatever it was called. I'm sorry, but division of a person. It was something that had to do with like politics or Black Lives Matter or something. It was something crazy. You know what I mean? Not saying that I don't agree with certain things, but I don't like to get too much engrossed in political matters, unless I just, unless I feel, led to jump on a subject or something like that. So I don't really talk too much on those things, because who's to say in the next 10 years I'll place in a position, and then my ideology changes about a certain subject because I've experienced different things in life. And then now there's a clip of me talking about this or talking about that resurfaces and tries to destroy my character or destroy my influence, because I spoke on something from a mindset of having a lack of experience. So I really don't like to get too engrossed into those certain topics until I can continue to grow and experience more in life, and have more clarity about those situations and those subjects. But when your identity is clear, the direction becomes easier to follow. And I said that before, man. I led a team, international team, was building and scaling the company. But the thing is that when I was building and was scaling this company, it was some things that I should have learned before trying to lead. I knew exactly what the vision I had for the company. I knew exactly where I wanted to go in the next 5-10 years. I knew exactly what financial projections that we wanted to hit as a goal. But the thing was, I could not articulate or convey that information or that knowledge to the team in a clear-cut manner, to the point where they can understand it and they say, okay, now we know exactly what we want to do. Let's move forward. So those are some things that you need to learn. But I make decisions based on my brand identity, not just opportunities. You should too. Like I said, I do not align with every trend that comes out just because it's cool, just because you can make money. I don't align with every group, just because, it's popular, or people want to have an opinion, or people want to capitalize off of certain things in the world, man, certain global events. The only thing I would probably capitalize off of that I use for stock purposes and investment purposes is global disaster investment. I mean, if something happens that's a global disaster, it's people call it act of God. If something happens, a landslide goes through Taiwan, and there are certain 4 major construction companies. One of those companies are bound to get the contract to repair or to, renovate certain areas. So maybe I would, invest. So I do global disaster investments, dealing with stocks, international stocks, the ones who could do some research, who has got all the major governmental contracts within this area for the last 5-10 years, last 2 years. And based on that research, then I would invest in that company while they're building, and then pull my money out before it's finished, just to get a good ROI. But if something doesn't align with my message or my values, I don't pursue it. I don't get involved. If I'm looking to, my brand aligns with HBCU, and that's what it aligns with. And that comes with a message that sometimes separates you from having an opportunity with Ivy League schools, just because it's a HBCU. But that doesn't mean that you wouldn't work with them, but it also comes with whatever you choose comes with a resistance or a restraint from another area. So you need to understand exactly what you're shooting for, because anything outside of that area is going to become a restraint, and you cannot jump from one pillar to another post just based off of a trend, because it makes your business narcissistic. It makes your business inauthentic, to people, and they don't want to work with you. It's just like, man, everything that happens, he's over here, he's over there. We don't know what this guy really stands for. So you don't want to be one of those people who change masks as soon as the trend changes. Okay, so you avoid a lot of business mistakes when your identity becomes your filter. So a lot of things, like I said, we don't align. It helps, your vision for your business, your morals, your standards, your foundation of why your company was built, the message that you portray to the world. All these things become a filter, where you don't just jump into business partnerships, or don't just jump into certain deals just based off of the money. So clarity in who you are keeps the business consistent and focused. So it has to align with who you truly are as a leader of that company. Number three, I build trust and growth through consistency and identity. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Now we do understand, but this is not that. I like to conduct business in a way that I feel like I'm married to, I'm married to the business, but in a way that there are certain loyal customers that will see you as their favorite person, as their favorite business, as their favorite, place to eat, or as their favorite company to go to for landscaping or whatever you do, or for a business consultation or for insurance. But you have to be consistent, man. I don't I don't want to wake up one day and then you're completely the coffee's completely different. If I've been coming here for the last 5 years, you hire one new employee, they come up with a way to figure out, you still need to have that original blend. Don't take away the original blend that the company has built, over 50,000 loyal customers based off this one brand, and then you completely switch it. It's okay for you to add an extension or extended flavor or something outside of it, but keep the original thing that helps the company to move forward and explore other ideas. So I realized that customers trust businesses that stay consistent in who they are, and you got to apply that to your business as well. Every post, every product, every interaction, it should reflect the same identity. You cannot be one person on Facebook, another person on Instagram, and another person on Snapchat, and another person on TikTok and X. Man, you have 5 different identities of who you are as a person on different platforms. It doesn't work like that. You have to be the same person authentically on every platform that you are on. And that's one thing that I've learned. You cannot be this person over here, that person over there, and cowboy over here, a businessman over here. All that has to align with who you are. You can be all those things, but you have to be all those things on each platform. Some people say, well, I may expose or allow people to see this side behind the business scene over here on this platform. But, the truth is, you have to be the same person on every platform, and your business has to do the same. So, and like I said, every post, product, every interaction you have, man, make sure it's all the same identity. You don't build brand overnight. You build brand through repetition and consistency, man, which a lot of you guys know. Some of you individuals that listen to these podcasts, you know these things. You went to school for business administration, business management, but when I originally started this podcast, it was for individuals who were on the 9 to 5 and they wanted to transition into using their passions and their gifts into going into business for themselves. They just didn't know how. And this is the origin of this podcast, how it originated, the vision for this podcast. But thank you guys also for tuning in, and listening as well, man. It's really, I'm really grateful for that, to have such individuals from such a high status, whether economically, social status, listen to these videos, man. It's really a blessing to have you guys, and leave me feedback, man. If there's something that I could critique, or something that you feel like I need help with, or something that could help me to move the needle forward or make the podcast more explosive and more informational and educational to business owners and entrepreneurs, man, I'm all for it. So leave that for me down there at the description. At the comment section. When your identity is strong, your business becomes recognizable and memorable. Yeah, people remember McDonald's, even though McDonald's came out with an article saying they have human remains in it. McDonald's came out saying that the meat doesn't expire. McDonald's, they came out with a cheeseburger from 1990, and it's still in the same shape and form in the original box, and it has not expired. But guess what? People are still eating McDonald's. McDonald's is one of the most, the highest paid fast food company that you can think of. People are still eating Big Macs to this day. They don't care if it's human remains in it, if it doesn't expire. They're still in. You know why? Because their identity is strong, because their business is recognizable and memorable through its consistency and who they are. So that is the same thing that we need to practice as business owners and leaders, and when it comes to team development. So if you're just now tuning in, this is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. And we just gave you 3 talk points. Our episode title was Why Business Needs a Clear Identity. We gave you 3 talk points. Number 1 was define exactly who your business is for before you try to grow it. You can use your own personal identity to guide every business decision, or the identity of your company starts with you when it comes to building a company. And then with the company having a clear cut identity, it can, you can build your reputation off of that. And number 3 was I build trust and growth through consistency and identity, so you can switch it up here and there. Seasonal promotions come around, certain trends come around that you can jump on. So you can switch it up a little bit and try new things. But as far as the foundation of your company's identity, you need to keep that intact. So, man, this is a place where we give you the knowledge and tools to execute your dreams and visions, man. It's Caleb Thompson, man, coming live from New York City. We'll see you back here next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.